Good morning. It's Sunday, July 7th. I'm Lisa Evers in the Fox 5 newsroom. Thank you for joining us live on the Fox Local app. A driver who was allegedly behind the wheel of a truck that crashed a holiday party and killed 3 people went before a judge. 44-year-old Daniel Hayden was charged with vehicular homicide, manslaughter, and other charges. It happened on the Lower East Side when police say he lost control of his pickup truck. Fun at the beach turned dangerous for 2 teens in Coney Island. The NYPD says just after 6 last night, a 14-year-old boy and a 16-year-old had to be rescued from the water. The older boy was hospitalized in stable condition, and the younger boy suffered minor injuries. Checking the forecast today, another scorcher. Tonight, pleasant. Tomorrow, more sun and hot temperatures. It was a final farewell. Friends and family of police officer Amelia Rhack gathered for her funeral yesterday. She was one of 4 people killed when an allegedly drunk driver slammed through a Long Island nail salon. Fox 5's Michelle Ross reports.
Hundreds of police officers line up outside New Hyde Park Funeral Home on Long Island to pay their respects to fallen NYPD officer Amelia Rhack.
That infectious smile brought joy to the 102 Precinct Station House. She was just a friendly person who was liked by everyone who met her.
Rhack was one of 4 people killed at a Deer Park nail salon last week when an accused drunk driver plowed his SUV through the storefront. She was off duty getting her nails done. The fatal crash also took the lives of 2 employees and the owner. 37-year-old Jian Kai Chen of Bayside, Queens, 41-year-old Yan Shu from Flushing, Queens, and 50-year-old Mei Chi Zhang, also from Flushing, Queens. Police charged the 64-year-old driver Stephen Schwally with DWI. He'd been arrested for drunk driving once before in 2013.
He should have never been behind the wheel of that car, and he's behind bars now, and he needs to stay behind bars.
New York City Mayor Eric Adams also at the funeral as Rhack's loved ones said their final goodbyes. College friends share old memories of her and say they didn't keep in touch as much as they would have liked.
I feel like the priest's message is very timely. It's like, I wish that I would have reached out a little bit more, in the last, decade. Yeah, that we knew each other.
But they'll always remember her smile and how proud she was of her Polish heritage.
She always brought Polish cheesecake to the function. Her smile, her laugh, she was bodacious, she was audacious, and she was unapologetic.
Rhack was 30 years old and recently married to an NYPD detective also in the 102nd Precinct. As friends and family adjust to a new life without her, her legacy lives on. Reporting in New Hyde Park, Michelle Ross, Fox 5 News.
Funeral arrangements for the other victims are still pending. Some family members live abroad and are sorting out visa requirements so they can attend. The NYPD is looking for a suspect behind a slashing near Central Park. Investigators say just before 10 yesterday morning, a 42-year-old man was repeatedly slashed near West 67th Street in Central Park West. He was hospitalized in stable condition. The motive behind the violence is under investigation. We're seeing an uptick in COVID-19 cases. Hospitalizations in New York have increased compared to this time last summer. However, while it's well below what we saw during the same time period in 2022, Governor Kathy Hochul is reminding New Yorkers to get tested and seek treatment if they have symptoms and to follow the usual precautions, including staying up to date with COVID-19 vaccines. A deli in the Bronx is going viral for their take on the traditional ice cream cone. Instead of ice cream, the cone, which is a hollowed-out piece of Italian bread, is filled with homemade meatballs and all the sauce your heart desires. Richard Giacovis went to Williamsbridge to get the tasty scoop.
Forget your soft serve. This summer, it's all about the Italian ice cream cone. Yeah, take it from me, your resident Italian reporter. This is the latest sensation at G&R Italian Deli in the Morris Park section of the Bronx.
And I was like, oh, why'd you post it? And they says, so what? You look good, don't worry. And it just went nuts.
Owner Carolina DeFuccia came up with the concept of some hollowed-out seeded Italian bread stuffed with meatballs, sauce, and mozzarella on a whim a few months back. And little did she know just how many people would want it.
Nonstop. Someone just called from Florida, another guy called from Ohio, can you ship? I'm like, I can't ship a piece of bread with sauce in there.
If GNR sounds familiar, in May, this deli on Williamsbridge Road was named Best Sandwich in the Bronx and Good Day New York's Best of the Boroughs.
I have the Bronx Godfather.
What's in that?
All Italian imported cold cuts.
First Best Sandwich, now Italian ice cream cones? Oh, yeah.
We keep trying to make more, just to keep everybody happy, because people come from all over the place right now, and I don't want them coming and not finding it. Yeah. So they're constantly making meatballs in the back, and everyone's hands are hurting right now. Take that big Italian bite.
Here we go. Let me wipe my... That's unbelievable. Unreal. You are Miss Italian ice cream cone.
Yes, that's my grandmother's recipe, by the way.
This is perfect. Best of the borough with the sandwiches, and now you have the best Italian ice cream cone. We're in the Bronx. Richard Jacobs, Fox 5 News. I can eat more of this.
A dog got himself into a scary situation by accidentally starting a house fire. When firefighters arrived on the scene, they didn't find any source of the fire. The homeowner looked through the home security video and realized it was actually their dog who caused it. The animal jumped up on the oven and switched on the stove burner. There were boxes on top and they ignited. Grab the Prosecco and Appol. This year's summer cocktail has arrived on the scene. Fox 5's Teresa Priolo is digging into how the Appol Spritz became a trendy drink.
It's bright, bubbly, and instantly refreshing. The closest thing you'll get to an Italian summer in a glass. Hard not to see why the Appol Spritz is taking the States and really the world by storm.
It's refreshing and it's so freaking hot in the summer. Like, it's the only alcohol drink that feels refreshing and nice.
The Appol Spritz is the top cocktail in the U.S., according to Forbes, but in truth, it's been around for centuries. It was first introduced in northern Italy in the 1800s when Austrian soldiers added a little water to wine to lighten it up. But in 1919, a bartender from Padua entered the chat with an official aperitif, the Appol Spritz, meant to resemble the burning orange of an Italian sunset during summer. And now, it is everywhere.
This is the most popular summer drink. Yeah. So because of orange, because of the color, because of Prosecco, so people love bubblies.
We went to no fewer than 10 bars in the city, and tables were littered with half-consumed cocktails. The recipe is simple: Aperol bitters, Prosecco, soda water, and an orange slice. It goes down easy any time of day or night.
We do like probably 18 bottles a week.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's
correct. It's a lot of Aperol. It's a lot of Aperol, yeah. Especially on Fridays afternoon. People, they leave work earlier now because it's summer. So they run to have Aperol Spritz by 2, 3 p.m. and with some snacks.
And when I asked them, guys, why you order source of Spritz, they said, you know, like, we want to feel like we are there.
Because the Aperol Spritz has blown up in popularity, now there are all kinds of spritzes being offered. Limoncello spritzes, spritzes with tomatoes, and all different kinds of herbs and garnishes. Basically, if you can think it up, they can make it into a spritz, but we can't forget the one that started it all. In the West Village, Teresa Priolo, Fox 5 News.
Madonna's Celebration Tour is currently the highest-grossing tour of the year, despite some criticism about shows starting late. Madonna's concerts have brought in more than $178 million, according to data from Pollstar, but she's not expected to hold the top spot for much longer. Box office data is not yet available for Taylor Swift's Eras Tour yet, but it is expected to gross over $2 billion by the time it ends in December. In Death Valley, California, an intense heat wave beat its previous record high temperature. According to the National Weather Service, Death Valley's Furnace Creek hit 127 degrees. Death Valley's previous record high for the date was 122 degrees, set in 2013. Phoenix also hit a record high of 118 degrees. Heat and red flag warnings are in effect in California, southern and western Nevada, and northwestern Arizona. Well, Lego has unveiled a new set based on Jaws. The almost 1,500-piece set features 3 minifigures of the film's main characters. It also comes with an Orca, a boat with a cabin with a removable roof, and much, much more. And the cost, about $150.